Good morning, people. It is 8:42. I am just leaving work. I had to stop and get some coffee. I have been boycotting Starbucks. I stopped getting coffee. I was a Starbucks head. You hear me? But I stopped getting the Starbucks coffee because of the controversy. Well, I don't know if it's controversy, but I just read too much about Starbucks and their service, the treatment to the employees, and I just didn't want to support anymore. So I stopped buying Starbucks. But this morning, when I left work, I hadn't had any coffee, and I'm going from one person to the other today, and I needed some caffeine. This is the mic, if anybody's wondering, it's the mic. But I needed some coffee, y'all. I love Starbucks' flat whites. I get it with oat milk and a couple packs of Splenda, and it does the trick. It costs too much though. That little cup of coffee was $5 for a medium. That's too much. That's too much. I mean, they do give you. There's a lot of perks when you use their app, and you pay with the gift cards that are inside the apps. They hook you up, but you spend a lot of money too. You know what I think I want to discuss today? Um, I think I want to talk about being alone versus being lonely. And listen, this is my birthday month. I will be 50 on the 23rd, so this is a milestone for me. 50 years old. Love it, love it, love it. I I don't know. My mind doesn't feel 50. Uh my body doesn't feel 50. I can't believe that I'm going to be 50 years old. I can't believe it. But she is. She's going to be 50. I am going on a solo trip for my 50th birthday, and I am very excited. But I don't have a relationship. If you can remember in my last vlog, I was in a 4-year relationship, was my last relationship, and that was a few years ago that it ended. And I really loved him. He was a good man. He was a good man. He just wasn't emotionally available, and he wasn't able to give me the things that I needed to feel loved. Now I knew he loved me, but we have love languages. We have the things that we need from people in order to feel content and happy and loved, and he just wasn't able to do those things for me. He showed me love in his way instead of providing love for what I needed, instead of loving me in a way that I needed love. And I just couldn't. And we were going to get married, but I had to really sit down and analyze, and it was like torturous for me to have to give him up and let him go, and even to tell him that I didn't want the relationship anymore. Really it was really bad. It was hard. And he held on for a long time. But I'm going to tell you this. When you are expressing what you need to a person, when I'm going to speak for myself, because I was expressing to him in all kinds of ways what I needed from him. I was subtle. I bought the 5 Love Languages book. I wanted us to read it together. He shrugged it off. I made myself available, and it was partially sexual and it was partially emotional, physical. He was the type of person, he grew up, he didn't have a lot of affection, and so he wasn't very affectionate, and I am complete opposite. I like to hang on my man. I like to be all over him. I like to kiss and hug and hold hands, and he act like it was a chore to do those things with me, and I would just, it was very difficult. I felt like I was living with a friend, with my best friend, because he just wasn't affectionate in any sort of way, and it's kind of weird, because at the same time I knew this man loved me. I knew he loved me. But outside of love, there's other things. Love isn't always enough. So, I kept telling him this went on for a couple years into the relationship. The affection stopped almost immediately after I fell in love. It was just a switch. And I ignored it for a long time until it couldn't be ignored anymore. And then finally, I bought the house that I live in now. But when I bought the house, I was with him, and our agreement was he was going to rehab, because it's a lot of work that needs to be done in the house. He was going to rehab, do the work in the house, because he loves that type of stuff. And I, bought the house, and of course I was going to help him, but give me 1 second, y'all. So when it was time to move into the house, because I decided I was gonna wait until the kids had graduated from high school, and then we were gonna move. So this happened in 2021. 21 or 22? 21. So we were gonna move in, and he has 2 young boys. I'm talking 6-7-year-old boys. And mom was tripping, and he was really considering, taking the boys on full time. And my kids, my youngest, were graduating high school, and I was, when you love a person, you would do a lot for that person, even things that you wouldn't normally do because you love that person. You know what I'm saying? You compromise, you work together, you make things work. So even though my kids were like adults and moving on with their lives, I would have helped him raise his boys and been active, even though I didn't want to partake. You know, I really didn't want the thought of, I didn't like the thought of having young people again. You know, I loved his boys, but I just didn't. Homework, having to run around. I'm too old for that, you know. But I would have did it. You know what I'm saying? I would have did it. But I could not, because I wasn't getting my needs met. You know, it was really difficult, because on top of you bringing your boys full time, you are not meeting my needs. You're not making me feel loved. I'm not feeling affection. I'm not getting anything but a bench. And, you know, the things that you do that you want to do to show love and affection, things that you're comfortable with, you know. And by the time the 2 years came, I already knew who he was and what it was gonna be, and I was over it. And when it was time to move into the house, I just knew that if I let stuff progress any further, and the boys moved in and they had to come full time, I was gonna it was just, that's just what my life was gonna be. And it was a no for me. As much as I loved him, as much as I loved the boys, it was a no for me, because I couldn't, I just couldn't do it. Um, so here I am, what it's been, probably 3-4 years later. He eventually moved out. He tried really hard. Once I did tell him it was really hard, and I let him come to grips with it. I didn't rush him out the house. I didn't kick him out, because I loved him. You know what I'm saying? I didn't do any of those things. I let him process. He was angry. You know, he was hurt. He was trying to be more affectionate. But when things don't come natural to a person, it's hard to keep that up. You know what I'm saying? And this is what I know. And this is what I told him. I said, you can do all these things that I like. You can do those things now, and that's fine. But you're gonna fall off, because it doesn't come natural. That's not your nature. That's not who you are as a person. And I'm not trying to make you be somebody you're not, because it won't come naturally. And then at some point, you're gonna go back to doing the things that you're comfortable with, and I'm not okay with that. So it didn't matter what he did, it didn't matter what he said, it didn't matter, because I was already, you let me get that far. You let my mind get to that place where I had to utter those words to you. So it wasn't no turning back. You know the R. Kelly song. Stop playing. You know the R. Kelly, when a woman's fed up. Yeah. It ain't shit you can do about it. So I was fed up, and I was over it, and I was done. I was done. But I let him progress. He stayed in the house probably another 6 months, trying, going back to, you know, I let him try. I let him try. I let him try. But eventually he understood. And then he moved out. And I've been alone ever since. But I'm not lonely. Hold on, y'all. Let me wipe my car down. We'll be back. There we go. There we go. Let's see. I'm about to get out the car and dry it off. Let's see if you follow. Okay. Let's see. And hope I got you propped up all willy-nilly. So let's see if you follow. Well, you didn't follow me, but I have my mic on, and so you can hear me. Um, so let's carry on with the conversation. The bugs that's on this car is crazy. Anywho, so eventually we moved out, and so ever since then I haven't been in a relationship. I haven't been intimate with anyone, and that's my choice. You know that it's not like there weren't options. There's always an option. You know what I'm saying? There's always an option, but I'm just not that type of person. I don't know. I just haven't done anything. Um, do I think about relationships? Do I want a relationship? I do. I want a relationship, but now at this point, I think I am scared because, oh, I hope this. I don't have it. I want a relationship, but I'm scared because now I feel like I'm too stuck in my ways, and I want what I want. I'm not willing to compromise very much because I was married for 10 years. I gave my husband everything, all of me, you know. I put my all my 10 years. I tried very hard in that relationship, and I put my all into this last relationship, and I want a return on my investments, you know, my time, my energy, my love, my affection. You know, I put everything into my relationships. And if I couldn't get some of that back, then I don't want a relationship. And I'm just at the point now where if I don't see that immediately, I don't even want it. I just want to partake. You know what I'm saying? I am absolutely not here for it. So I'm struggling. I'm struggling there because I I don't want to invest my time, my energy. You know what? I'm gonna stop talking because I can't focus. I'm gonna finish what I'm doing, and then we'll finish the conversation. How about that? I love this. Consider this is air. I love this. Because it gets all the cracks and crevices, all the studs. You know, if I don't feel like wiping out, blow the shit out of this car. I sure hope. All right, y'all. I think I am in Tish. Don't think we fit in at this party. Everyone's got so much to say. I always feel like I'm nobody. Who wants to be there anyway? Oh, fitting. when I'm with my baby, yeah, all the bad things disappear. You're making me feel like I am somebody. I can deal with the bad times when I'm with my baby, yeah. Cause I don't care, as long as you just hold my hand. You can take me anywhere. You're making me feel like I'm loved by somebody. It's the perfect song, ain't it? I want to feel like I'm loved by somebody. Who is hot? It's 82 degrees and it feel like it's 95. Y'all, my daughter told me I need to stop having these because I had, like, my hair is a mess, but I had my hat like this. And I be doing the most. You know, I'm so tomboyish. I am very tomboyish, okay? And I had my hat like this, and my daughter told me I look like a good old boy. But I'm a good old girl. Not in that way, but most definitely. So back to the story at hand. I have a few minutes left. How much? Okay. So I still have some juice. Are you following me still? Thank you. Baby, I don't care. Okay. Alone, but not lonely. I'm not lonely. I'm alone. I would love to be in a relationship. I would love to have a travel companion, somebody. He wouldn't travel. He wouldn't do nothing. He just, everything was no. Everything was no. I'm not gonna go off into a tangent about this man, okay? But Mr. was a piece of work. He really was. He was just stubborn. I'm not doing it. So, anywho, I want a travel companion. I want somebody who is in the second half of their lives like I am, has adult children, has, their stuff together, and just wants to have fun at this point in life, just have experiences. And that's what I want. This is what I want for my life. I want experiences. And I want somebody to share them with. But I will not wait for somebody to come along for me to have my experiences, because I raised my children. I dedicated my life to my kids when they were young. And this is my time. This is me time. Y'all, this doggone thing is so obnoxious. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. We're gonna stop. Golly. Okay. So, it's like it's so rude. Okay. I'm right around the corner from my next person, so I have a few minutes. So I want those things. And in the meantime, and in between time, I'm going to live my life. I'm going to do the things, whether I invite somebody, whether it's a family member, a friend, no matter what the situation, or if I have to do it by myself, I'm just going to do it by myself. I want to see the world. I want to go to other countries. I want to continue to cruise. This year in October, I'm going on I think it's October. This year in October, I'm going on my 4th cruise. And I told you in July I'm going to Mexico. I can't remember what city in Mexico, but it's a heavily tour. It's a heavily it's a tourist destination. So I feel like for my first time, I don't want to go anywhere that I don't feel like I would be taken care of. So I did choose strategically where I was going. So I'm going to Mexico. It's individual friendly, solo traveler friendly. I used Expedia and got a package. So this whole trip, the flight home, flight back, shuttle to and from the airport, the flight cost me $1,000. Say what? You think I'm not going? So, and then the airport. The airport from where I live is like not even 10 minutes. Not even 10. Listen, I'm gonna be gone 4 nights, 5 days. I'm gonna have a ball and I'm gonna be by myself. And I don't mind. I'm happy. I do recognize the desire for people who have never been married, who have not had the experience of a long-term relationship to desire that and want that and even need it sometimes. But sometimes because you desire and want those things so much, you compromise your well-being, your peace of mind, to attain those things, and you stay with a person whether or not he's the right person for you. And you have to be willing, and I know I'm speaking to the choir because I imagine that I am speaking to people my own age in my demographic. So as a middle-aged person, it is my belief that at this point in life we should know exactly what we want and what we are willing to tolerate, and not be willing to compromise. I mean, unreasonably compromise, because a relationship is compromise no matter what. But unreasonable compromise, settling, is what I'm talking about. We should not be settling. We should not be settling for anything. And I refuse. So, yeah, I'm not lonely. not even in the slightest. I'm quite happy, and I want a relationship, and hopefully God will bless me. I'm hoping God will bless me one day. You're never too old to find that one, and if I do, I will. So that's all I have to say about that subject. Thank you for listening to me ramble and rant. And I hope that you enjoyed the video. I hope that you would comment, subscribe, and, be a friend. And I will see you in the next video. Deuces. Wait. Deuces. There we go.